Today I'll be showing you 5 seeds with the ancient cities either below spawn or very nearby, as well as 3 additional seeds I've already covered that now have an ancient city because of 1.19. If there are any other biomes or structures you'd like to see some seeds for, please leave a comment below. In this first seed you spawn on top of calcite in a Stony Peaks biome. Nearby there is savanna, so hopefully you like acacia wood. A bit further from spawn but still close by, you can find some forest and badlands. If you dig straight down from spawn at 0, you will eventually end up at the edge of the ancient city. Back on the surface there's a village on the edge of the badlands around 260, -315. If you're willing to travel a little further past the village, you can also find some jungle which appears to have normal jungle, sparse jungle, and bamboo jungle. A little further away there's a desert microbiome near these interesting badlands cliffs, with a warm ocean nearby, so you should have access to a lot of coral. Within the Badlands cliffs, there's this pocket of clay around 330, -810, which hints towards the large lush cave below. The lush cave intersects not only with a mineshaft, but also the deep dark, which you can find around 365, -755. The last thing of note in the overworld is a ruined portal within the Badlands around 125, 180. Going to the nether there takes you to a basalt deltas. The closest bastion is around -260, -300. The closest fortress is in the opposite direction around 145, 110. I would say this is the best overall seed in this list as far as the balance of biomes and structures is concerned. But if you're looking for something colder, this second seed spawns you near the edge of a forest with nearby plains, and in the opposite direction, some nice looking snowy mountains. The ancient city is underneath those mountains. You could dig straight down from spawn and a bit to the side to emerge from the cave wall into the city, but I would recommend digging down at 140. The first fall won't be enough to cause damage, and the second fall will be softened by cobwebs in a mineshaft. Directly below the mineshaft you will find the ancient city. You should be able to use one of the waterfalls to safely get down the rest of the way. Back on the surface there is a village in the plains around 20, -200. However, there's also a village on the other side of the mountain around 200, 140. I'm fairly certain it's supposed to be a meadow village because the small meadow microbiome is the only biome around that the village should be able to spawn in. Some of the houses generated inside the nearby grove, birch forest, and normal forest. Past the village there's a giant cave opening around 290, 190 that leads to a sizable dripstone cave. Even further past the cave opening on the surface there is some frozen peaks in case you also need some blue ice. And yes, there's yet another village beyond the frozen peaks around 680, 320. Going to the nether from spawn takes you to the nether wastes with nearby Soul Sand Valley. The closest bastion remnant is around -120, -140. The closest fortress is around 290, -160. But why settle for one ancient city when you could have 2? This third seed spawns you on a small stony beach next to some normal forest. There is some savanna to the west with a village around -450, 230. There's also a ruined portal in the savanna around -365, 70. Going to the nether there takes you to the nether wastes with not much nearby. Back in the overworld, the main appeal of this seed, at least on the surface, is the stony peaks which are visible from spawn. If you're looking for a bunch of calcite, this seed could be the one for you. Below the stony peaks you will find the first ancient city, which is about 300 blocks from spawn. And the same deep dark cave that contains the city also connects with a mineshaft, which you can find around 460. If you don't mind digging in the wall, there's another ruined portal around 190, 160. Going to the nether there still takes you to the nether wastes, but you're at least a little closer to the bastion around 240, 160. Just be careful because the portal may spawn underneath a lava lake. The closest nether fortress can be found around -275, 340 in a warped forest. Back in the overworld for the last time, to the east around 460, 600, you will find some colder mountain peaks with dripstone caves beneath them. And below the dripstone caves there is a second ancient city. And as a nifty bonus there's an iron ore vein around 480, 605. But the only thing better than 2 ancient cities is 3. To the north and west in this fourth seed there are stony peaks with some jungle beyond them. To the east of spawn there is yet more jungle. There's even an exposed lush cave around 395, -175. 175. Oddly enough, lush caves don't look very lush when compared with the jungle. Underground, the first ancient city intersects with a pretty large deep dark cave around -125, -190. You can find the second city by heading towards -240, -60, and the third city is around -240, 340. The third city also has some dripstone around -370, 430. Going to the nether from spawn takes you to the basalt deltas. The closest bastion remnant is around -200, 75. But maybe you want more snow with your 3 ancient cities. In this 5th and final seed, you spawn in either a snowy taiga or a grove next to some snowy slopes. On the way to the ancient city, there's a cave opening around 140, -175, which leads to some dripstone cave. Further down, you can find the edge of the first ancient city around 190, -190. The second ancient city is around 370, -260. This one also happens to intersect with a mineshaft. There are mineshafts closer to spawn, but accessing this one requires no additional digging, and can get you a lot of chains. There are also 2 dungeons near the second city. The first one can be found around 570, -200. You can find the second one by mining up a few blocks. Finally, the third city is around 680, -190. Back on the surface near spawn, there's a ruined portal around 50, 125. Going to the nether there takes you to the nether wastes, Crimson Forest, and Warped Forest. The closest fortress is around 25, 340. The closest bastion remnant is around -130, -200. Back in the overworld, there is a coastal plains village to the west around -350, 100. There's also a second ruined portal around -400, 265. All of these bonus seeds are from a previous video with 8 seeds that were rejected for the 1.18 seed picker. I originally saved this first bonus seed because of the 2 nearby desert villages and desert temple. However, with 1.19 there is now an ancient city less than 600 blocks from spawn under a jungle. The closest part of the ancient city is around 390, 115. There's also an exposed mineshaft which can make it easier to find more resources. Nearby the ancient city there's a lush cave around 400, 220, as well as some dripstone cave around 360. Back on the surface, there is a jungle temple around 360, 150. Going to the nether from the top of the jungle temple takes you to the nether wastes with nearby basalt deltas, as well as Soul Sand Valley with a ruined nether portal around 90, 50. You can find the closest fortress around -275, 60, with some nearby Crimson Forest as well. For this second bonus seed, the ancient city is further from spawn, but I think this large mesa biome makes this seed interesting. The recent swamp update has me hopeful that we'll see a Badlands update in the near future, so I'm definitely holding on to this seed for a while. You can find an exposed dark oak mineshaft around -600, -120 on the way to the ancient city, as well as a savanna village around -750, -170. Technically, the part of the city closest to spawn is around -645, -130, but the mineshaft and village may be helpful in gearing up or making a base in case things don't go so smoothly in the city. In addition to the deep dark, there are also patches of dripstone cave near the ancient city. Going to the nether from the village well may take you straight to a mostly buried treasure bastion around -100, -20. So make sure you get some gold beforehand. Once you finally make your way out of the netherrack, you can find the closest fortress around -245, -130. And for this third and final bonus seed, the ring of snowy and stony mountains near spawn with the small forest valley just below cloud height are still there. But there is now an ancient city about 400 blocks from spawn right outside of the main ring of mountains. I recommend digging down around -538, -168. There you will land on a ledge where you can get a little view of the city before you jump down the rest of the way. Still underground, there is a mineshaft that intersected with the deep dark around -400, -10. Back on the surface, the ocean monument around -160, 140 is still there, as well as the shipwreck with all 3 chests around -315, -75. The ship's treasure map may point to the buried treasure around -360, -184. It's also underwater, so that may be a bit difficult to get to. This seed has a ton of frozen peaks nearby as well, so if you're looking for a lot of mountains, this may be the perfect seed for you. Lastly, there's an underwater nether portal around -390, 115. Going to the nether from above there takes you to a soul sand valley with nearby crimson forest. The closest nether fortress can be found around 290, 210. To help you make the most of 1.19, I've made a playlist of 1.19 seeds, which includes a video with 10 mangrove swamp seeds that you can watch right now. I also have a few more 1.19 seed videos planned for the near future, so be sure to subscribe if that's something you want to see. And again, if there's another biome or structure you'd like to see some seeds for, please leave a comment below. Until next time, take care.